Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Film and television viewers have become well acquainted with Anthony Anderson over the years. That not surprising given that his long list of screen credits as laid out by IMDb extend back to the early 1990s. Fans have literally watched him grow up and slim down on screen over the years. Anderson's familiarity to TV viewers comes from decades of increasingly bigger roles from early bit parts on TV series such as Jag, Ally McBeal and NYPD Blue to eventually headlining several of his own shows. While establishing himself on the small screen, Anderson also carved out a niche in film, appearing in movies ranging from Martin Scorsese's The Departed to Scream 4 to the Robert De Niro's versus Sylvester Stallone boxing flick Grudge match. Despite his increasing profile during his first 2 decades as an actor, Anderson's biggest success did not come until middle age, with his starring role in ABC's hit sitcom Blackish. With Blackish ending its 8th season run in 2022, Anderson will be exiting on a high note and will no doubt be availing himself of the lucrative opportunities available to a Hollywood star at his critical and commercial peak. To find out even more about his multi-talented actor and comedian, read on to discover the uphold truth of Anthony Anderson. It's not hyperbole to state that Anthony Anderson's acting career has been somewhat eclectic over the years, and IMDb illustrates early roles range from the action-heavy crime thriller Romeo Must Die to elite comedy Kangaroo Jack, which is widely reviled and considered by some to be cinema's all-time worst movie. However, in those early years, Anderson was far more associated with comedies, and he appeared in numerous sitcoms including his own All About the Anderson and a string of wacky big screen comedy hits including Big Mama's House, Me, Myself and Irene, Barber Shop, and entries in the Scary Movie and Harold and Kumar franchises. At a certain point, however, Anderson made a mid-career shift to embrace more serious fare, appearing in such well-respected television crime dramas as Law and Order and The Shield, in addition to critically acclaimed big screen drama Hustle and Flow. That shift, he claimed in an interview with Exclaim, was not by accident. I was typecast as just a comedic actor or the fat funny guy. Anderson said of his determination to demonstrate he was capable of much more than Hollywood's perception of him. I always sort of never wanted to be placed in a box, I never wanted to be defined by just one thing. I wanted to show the world that there was more to me than the laughter. I had not been afforded the opportunity to really flex that dramatic muscle. When Anthony Anderson needs to distress and enter his own personal chill zone, he heads straight to his garden. Gardening is therapeutic for me, Anderson professed in a video interview with GQ. On the weekends and my downtime, I am here playing with the earth that centers me and just bring me peace and calm. Anderson also pointed out that the vegetables he grow are dependent upon you being there for them, nurturing them and taking care of them, and if you give them the right foundation, they grow. Anderson opened up even more about his gardening addiction during a 2021 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel's show. I have been gardening man for 10 years now, Anderson told host Jimmy Kimmel, admitting that his Blackish schedule was preventing him from getting out in his garden as much as he would like. Prior to Blackish, however, I was in there every day and just growing everything. In fact, Anderson occasionally shares the bounty of his garden on social media, such as 2013 Twitter post showcasing his homegrown jalapenos, serranos, tomatillos, okra, bell peppers, and Kimmel showed his audience a photo of Anderson's 1,000-square-foot community garden, with the actor proudly declaring he had built the entire thing all by himself. I brought in my own soil, turned it's all organic, and I grew everything that's in season, he explained. Why Anthony Anderson was a child, he was apparently a handful and a half, or at least that was how he described himself during a 2020 visit to the Kelly Clarkson show, when he confessed to a crime that melded youthful exuberance with outright fraud. Speaking of whoopings, I did put my mother through something, he revealed. I bought a baby grand piano at the age of 13 or so with my mother's credit card without telling her that. As host Kelly Clarkson's jaw literally dropped, Anderson explained the story behind his teenage dabbling in credit card fraud. My mother put me in piano lessons, but she put me in an advanced class, Anderson said. On top of that, not only was it an advanced class, but we did not have a piano for me to practice when I got home. So 2 weeks into it, I bought a piano with my mother's credit card and they delivered it. You would better believe Anderson was disciplined by his furious mom, given that the statute of limitations are up. He described his punishment. She tied me to the avocado tree in the backyard and whipped me with the fan belt of an '84 Ford Courier, he recalled. Clarkson, by the way, could not top the story, revealing the worst thing she did as a child was stealing a 20 from her mom's purse to buy ice cream. Sharing 25 things that people may not know about him to US Weekly, Anthony Anderson singled out his best addition as being when he went up for a role in Life in 1999 called comedy starring Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence as a pair of convicts serving life sentences. As viewers of the movie will recall, Anderson played Cookie, the prison cook. Elaborating in an US Weekly video interview, he recalled having multiple auditions before actually landing the gig and revealed the above and beyond step he took that he thinks won him the role. I ended up actually cooking for the casting director and the producer, and I believe that is what got me the job, Anderson divulged. In that same interview, he revealed one of his culinary specialities, although it was not clear whether that particular meal was the one that won him the role. I cook a meal, jalapeno cheddar, cornbread with tarragon, fingerling potatoes, and a nice ribeye steak, he boasted. He also shared details of his worst audition experience, which took place when dressed up as a woman to play the female role during a friend's audition. I thought I had a great audition, he said, and the director and producer thought otherwise and didn't cast either one of us. Anthony Anderson is not always Anthony Anderson. Under the right circumstances, he will answer to the name of an alter ego he created in whole to evade his fame when need to. Chatting with Conan O'Brien on his late night talk show, the host asked Anderson if he ever uses an alias when checking into hotels. I do, and I am about to give away my alias now, so I'm gonna have to change it, said Anderson, but I normally check under the name Otis Rodriguez. I don't think anybody would ever look for me under that name, Otis Rodriguez. Anderson joked about a second alias, referencing his resemblance to an old school American Idol winner. Normally I go under the name Ruben Studdard cause, they say I resemble him, and a few times I got his room, and you will be surprised what they give an R&B star and an American Idol man, Anderson quipped. Yeah, so I have kept some of the gifts, he joked. I am another celebrity whom Anderson claimed he was mistaken for was former ER star Anthony Edwards. I don't know how they make that mistake, he joked. Anthony Anderson is still relatively young, yet he's been acting professionally for decades. In fact, IMDb lists his first television credit as the Wayans Bros, playing both Guy in Jail Cell and Guy at Party. He's been a working actor ever since, which has led him to amass a comfortable fortune, estimated by Celebrity net worth to be $25 million, earning $4 lakh per episode on his ABC sitcom Blackish. In a piece for The Hollywood Reporter, Anderson opened up about his biggest extravagance, a $2 lakh Mercedes Maybach, admitting he had wanted to drive a Mercedes since before I could even afford a Mercedes hood ornament. He said the car's six-figure price tag did not give me pause. It was a reward to myself. I have come a long way. Looking back, I think my younger self would look at my older self and be proud and commend me on the hard work. Anderson does not consider his Maybach to a trophy car and explained why owning such a prestigious and ridiculously expensive car is not just for showing off, with his favorite thing being able to take his mother and grandmother for a ride. Those are the benefits: to see the smile on my grandmother's face, who's 86, and to have her stretch her legs out in the backseat of the Maybach. He said, I measure my success by the things I am able to do for and with family. Anthony Anderson was just in his early 30s when he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. However, Anderson admitted he responded to what should have been a wake-up call by pushing the snooze button. I did not deal with it as seriously as I should have in the beginning, he told Everyday Health. I listened, but I did not really implement that into my life until much later. I was not the best patient to my doctor. That alarm became impossible to ignore when his father passed away at a relatively young age due to complications from type 2 diabetes, leaving Anderson with the realization he needed to make some lifestyle changes if he wanted to avoid the same fate. I saw what living my life the way I was living it up until the point when I was diagnosed. I saw what that got me. It got me type 2 diabetes, Anderson. As a result, he began eating healthier and exercising regularly. He ultimately shed 47 pounds, telling ABC News that at his heaviest he weighed 270 pounds. He also arrived at an important epiphany, and it's one he believes need to be embraced by others. Young men especially have to go to the doctor, Anderson told WebMD. They will take their car in for an oil change every 3,000 miles. They will care for an inanimate object, but they would not go themselves checked out. They need to do that. Apparently, those differences were not entirely reconcilable because the couple later reconciled just over 2 years later. Entertainment Tonight reported she had requested that her divorce filing be dismissed. The following year, Anderson and his wife had apparently patched things up and had achieved a certain level of domestic stability. During an October 2008 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Anderson discussed sending the youngest of the two children off to college while their daughter had been in college, move back into their home. People think we are empty nesters. Nope, Anderson declared. Found out a new term, boomerang. That's when your kid goes off to college and you think they are gone, but they come back home. While Anthony Anderson has opened in his fair share of dramas and comedies, it was not until the summer of 2016 that he added game show host to his list of accomplishments with the debut of ABC's To Tell the Truth, a reboot of the format that first hit the air in 1956, hosted by veteran 60 Minutes correspondent Mike Willis. Anderson put his own unique stamp on his version. On big way he accomplished that was by enlisting his mother, Doris Hancock, to be the show's scorekeeper. According to ABC News, Anderson's mom so dazzled producer with her vivacious personality during a previous appearance alongside her son on Celebrity Family Feud that they were keen to recapture the magic of that mother-son double act. When he was approached about potentially having his mother appear on the show, Anderson revealed, "They are like, do you have a problem with that?" I was like, no, not at all. That's one less check I will have to write every month. The duo's hilarious Fox rivalry was on display when they appeared together on Entertainment Tonight. Everybody say I'm funnier than he is, she declared. He just get jealous and mad. Analyzing her appeal with the show's viewers, she pointed to one key trait. "You know why? I'm natural," she explained. "I ain't no acting to it. I'm real." Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.